You ever feel like the world's got it out for you? Like no matter what you do, someone's waiting to knock you down? That's how it felt when I moved to Willow Creek, a quiet little lakefront spot in northern Michigan, thinking I'd found my slice of peace. I'm Jalen Carter, ex-Army engineer, and let me tell you, I didn't expect my new backyard to turn into a battlefield. 6 months ago, I rolled up to this cabin to acres of pine trees, a dock stretching out over water, so still it looked like a mirror. I'd just come off a rough divorce, cashed out my savings, and bought this place from an old retiree who'd lived here forever without a peep from the neighbors. Me? I'm a black guy with a military pension and a knack for fixing things up, so I figured I'd rebuild this cabin, maybe rebuild myself too. But the second I started hammering nails, the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, the HOA, decided I was public enemy number one. It started small, petty stuff: a letter saying my fence was 2 inches too tall, a fine for planting a cedar tree without approval. But it wasn't just bureaucracy. It was personal. I'd catch these guys, local HOA enforcers led by this dude named Travis Boone, sneaking around my property line at night, shining flashlights, taking notes like they were cops on a sting. Travis was this washed-up linebacker type, the kind who still talks about his high school glory days, now strutting around with a clipboard and a power trip. I'd served 8 years in the Army, took shrapnel in Kandahar, earned a couple medals, and here I was getting hassled over a damn tree. The irony wasn't lost on me. But what really got my blood boiling was finding out my sister, Keisha, had lived in this same neighborhood years back. She'd bought a little place on the East Shore, poured her heart into it, only to get buried under fines and threats from these same people. Her last letter to me, written before she took her own life, was like a punch to the gut. They won't let me breathe, Jalen. Every day's a new violation, a new fine. I can't keep fighting. I was too caught up in my own mess back then to help her, and that guilt, it's a weight I carry every day. So when Travis and his crew started coming for me, I wasn't just fighting for my cabin. I was fighting for Keisha too. One night, about 2 a.m., I'm out on my porch, sipping coffee, when I spot 3 shadows creeping through the woods: Travis and his lackeys, Nate and Cody, moving like they're on some tactical mission. I'd been watching them through my night vision scope, a little souvenir from my Army days, and I could hear their boots crunching on the frost, Travis whispering into a radio like he's running a Black Ops team. I'd built a razor wire fence around my property, paid for it myself after the HOA called my regular patrols suspicious. But what really stopped them dead wasn't the wire or the .50 cal Barrett I had propped against the railing. It was what I'd hidden inside my yard: a shipping container, beat up and gray, looking like nothing special from the outside. But inside, a full-on surveillance hub, wired with thermal cameras, motion sensors, directional mics, all backed up to the cloud. I'm an engineer, Monty don't mess around. They're inching toward the container, Travis with his bolt cutters gleaming in the moonlight, muttering about investigating suspicious activity. That's when I flip on my PA system, let my voice boom across the lake. Yo, Travis, how's your night vision? Mine's streaming live to the internet right now. You should have seen them freeze. Nate nearly drops his flashlight. Cody's spinning around like a spooked cat. Travis, though, he just smirks, all cocky, and says into his radio, "Target's aware and hostile. Going to Plan B." Plan B? Oh, I'd been waiting for Plan B. For 6 months, I'd been documenting every shady move they made, every fine, every forged report, every time they inspected my property. And now they're walking right into my trap. See, I wasn't alone in this. I'd called in my old Army buddy, Marcus Reed, a Navy vet turned IT wizard who could hack a server faster than you can microwave popcorn. Marcus rolled up in his beat-to-hell pickup, but the gear in the back? Military grade, worth more than my cabin. He wired up that container like a CIA outpost, cameras catching every angle, mics picking up whispers 50 yards out. We even had Rosa Tate, my neighbor, in on it. Rosa's a retired nurse, tough as nails, been fighting these clowns over her vegetable garden for years. She'd show up with coffee and a stack of HOA violation notices, saying, "Jalen, they fined me $2,000 for growing zucchini." Zucchini. We'd laugh, but it wasn't funny. It was a pattern targeting folks like us, people who couldn't afford to fight back. That night, as Travis snaps the lock on my container, I'm watching it all on Marcus's monitors. They open the door, expecting drugs or guns, But it's just stacks of legal papers, property laws, civil rights statutes, every dirty trick they'd pulled, all cross-referenced. Travis's face goes from smug to sour real quick. "What the hell is this?" he snaps, flipping through folders. I lean into the PA. "That's your homework, Travis. Hope you're ready for the test." His radio crackles, and a woman's voice, cool, sharp, like she's done this 100 times, says, "Make it look good. Plant something that sticks." That voice. Evelyn Harper, the HOA president, a silver-haired lawyer who runs Willow Creek like her personal kingdom. They didn't know I had more than cameras. I had Marcus's cousin, Devin, a former HOA goon who'd quit when he saw what they were really up to. Devin's out there in the shadows, recording every word, every move. When Travis pulls a bag of ammo from his vest to plant it, Devin steps out, cool as ice. "Evening, Travis." Planting evidence looks bad when there's a witness. Travis spins, hand on his gun, but then Rose is there too, her phone rolling, and Marcus pops out with a camera. It's a full-on ambush, and Travis knows he's screwed. But it gets worse for them. Marcus hacks their email server, and we find out Evelyn's not just some HOA tyrant, she's a regional player for a company called Willow Investments, running a scam to force out families like mine, buy their land cheap, and flip it for condos. Keisha's name is all over their files, marked as a problematic subject, because her lot was prime for their resort plans. They didn't just harass her, they pushed her until she broke. That's when I called Agent Laura Chun at the FBI's Detroit office. Marcus knew her from way back, vouched she was solid. I sent her every mails, recordings, Keisha's letter. Laura's voice was all business. "Jalen, this is RICO-level stuff. Wiretapping, civil rights violations, the works." We thought we had them cornered, but Evelyn's crew wasn't done. One night, my motion sensors go wild, not Travis's clumsy squad, but a drone, military grade, hovering over my cabin like something out of a spy flick. It's got thermal imaging, audio, even a payload system. Marcus spots it on the thermal scope. "Jalen, that's a $10,000 rig." They're not playing. When it starts zooming in on my bedroom window, I grab the Barrett. I'm not proud of what came next, but I wasn't about to let them spy on my life. I boom through the PA. "Drone operator, you've got 10 seconds to clear out, or I'm defending my privacy." They don't budge, they get closer. So I take the shot. 1.50 cal round. And that drone's a fireball raining down over my yard. The whole neighborhood wakes up, dogs barking, lights flipping on. Laura's team was already in position, tracking the drone to a control van 2 miles out. They nab the operators, find a chemical payload meant to gas my house, force me out, let Travis plant more evidence. But Rosa's got it all on tape, and Devin's got audio logs. The feds move in, arresting Evelyn and her whole crew, RICO charges, conspiracy, the works. Turns out, Willow Investments was running this scam in a dozen states, targeting folks like me and Rosa, raking in millions. They'd driven out 300 families, but we stopped them cold. As the feds haul Evelyn away, she looks at me, all venom. "You think you've won, Carter? This is bigger than you know." Maybe she's right, maybe there's more out there. But standing on my dock, looking out at the lake where Keisha used to read, I feel her with me. The war's over here, but Devin's already talking about other towns, other families getting squeezed. I grip the Barrett, still warm from that shot, and tell him, I'm in. For Keisha, for all of them. That's my story, folks, how a guy with a rifle and a grudge took on a corrupt system and won. But I want to hear from you. Ever dealt with an HOA gone wild? Or some local power tripper trying to run your life? Drop it in the comments. Hit that like button if you're sick of bullies with clipboards, and subscribe to Happer Stories for more tales where the little guy fights back and wins. Let's keep this fight going.